This podcast is brought to you by the Podtower, hosted by the Watchtower database. Visit youtube.com/thepodtower for informative, hilarious DC animation-themed podcasts and live streams every week. And check out the Watchtower database for DCAU video essays, timelines, fan theories, and more. And please, enjoy the show. There's my beautiful boy.
Everybody missed us.
If you missed us, say it now. Oh, man.
Anybody?
That was nobody at all. No one.
I didn't hear anybody say they missed us.
I didn't hear a single goddamn thing. I blamed Brian being sick again for the second week. He was sick for the first week. I'm just going to say right now that it was not actually Brian being sick the second time. It was me. It was me, liar, reference, trying to finish a video. And then it didn't matter because the end of the video completely changed. And I've just finished it today. Please watch the video that's coming out on Sunday, except for Brian. Don't watch it. It's a really good one too. Like, I'm really sad that it's very like there's many jokes that I can imagine you enjoying, but there are literally two just completely like entire series spoilers in there, and I'm like, I can't show him this, but I want to.
I want you to take an afternoon.
Yeah. Make the Brian version.
Yeah, literally just leave it the same length. Just black out the screen if there's a visual spoiler and put up.
I was going to say it was like elevator music. Brian can't watch this part. Brian can't watch this part. It was too smooth jazz in the back.
Premium CD beats.
Brian can't watch this part.com in the middle. Yeah. Just my voice saying that. Really blurred out. How do you say this word when you look at it while you're doing some sort of photo editing or whatever? Gaussia. Is it Gaussian?
Gaussian.
It's not Gaussian. It's not Gaussian. It's not. Do you know for sure that it's that?
That's just the pronunciation I've heard the most.
Okay.
What is it? Oh, Alice Isn't Dead. God damn, that's such a good podcast. Everybody should stop listening to this one and go listen to that one.
Yeah, I think you've told people to do that a few times.
Yeah. But there's a part where she mentions that like it's ridiculous that people get so obsessed over saying like cacti instead of cactuses, as if like Latin has any bearing on our like modern day life, basically. And so I think it's one of those, like, if you want to say Gaussian, dude, like, fucking
it's Gaussian, actually. It's Yesella now. Yesella blur. Yeah, we're talking about the Gaussian blur in Photoshop and other film or image editing software. If you're completely unaware of what the fuck that even is, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Just go look, it's there.
It's like a blur that's like whatever kind of blurry.
I believe that it's like an algorithmic thing.
It's more based on like the surrounding pixels instead of just a layer of shit, smudge of layer.
Yeah, and I won't say that it's so much as like it's adaptive, because I think it's pretty like surface level, but I do think it has some correlation to pixels. But okay. But I don't know.
Cool. Welcome to episode 91 of Jump on the Bat-Wagon. I'm James. And I'm from the Watchtower Database YouTube channel. I'm here to show my good friend Brian the entire DC animated universe from start to finish for the very first time in the controversial airdate order, so that he may view these shows the way human beings experienced them in the far gone days of the 1900s.
Yeah.
We recommend you watch today. Just waiting. Very much today is the suspense. Recommend you watch today's DCAU episode before listening to this podcast to get the full experience out of our discussion. At the time of this recording,
6:16 p.m.
I thought that's where you do it. Is streaming. Oh wait, no. Show bracket Superman the Animated Series is streaming on Max and available on DVD and Blu-ray.
Those are my dogs.
Today we're watching
And I'm Brian.
Remember, there it is. There's my beautiful boy. Do you remember what the title of the episode is?
Jamie, we haven't recorded in 6 months.
6 whole months, 6 years.
Right?
Same thing.
It's been 6 years.
It's 6 something. It's called The Way of All Flesh.
Oh, God.
Do you not remember this phrase at all?
No, but did I make a joke about sagginess or something?
Yeah, it was something about being old or something.
Yeah, that sounds like
you'd
something I
be
would
familiar. Oh, damn it! I changed. That was a spoiler. Don't listen.
Was that?
I changed the blops. I changed the blops to something else that you'll hear a while from now. Way of All Flesh originally aired Saturday, October 19th, 1996 at 9 a.m. on Kids WB. A new
Kids
time
W
slot.
Fox.
Yes, there you go. We skipped 4 weeks. Not a whole month, but 4 weeks.
Which sounds like how much time we took in between recording episodes.
I know. I almost thought it was 2 weeks, and I was going to make a joke about that we did this on purpose, but no. This is the 7th aired episode, but the 6th produced episode, so we're flipped from last time. We had Feeding Time as the opposite of that. I don't know why just these two are in the wrong order, but, whatever.
Man, what a world we live in.
It's crazy. It's 6 months. Writer is Stan Berkowitz. This is a new one. Stan Berkowitz. Remember this name.
Okay.
Prior, he wrote one
Should
episode
I write it down?
of the
Is he Australian?
Bears. No, he is not.
Fuck.
Do you think you hear the name Berkowitz? You're like Australian. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a very Australian name to me.
Stan
Why?
Berkowitz? Boy, no. What's that?
You okay?
Yeah, I'm having a stroke again. It happens every 20 episodes. What is it that no, or I can't do it. It's like the trend right now is to like make fun of how Australians say O sounds.
But it's not even all Australians. It's like a very
Berkowitz. No, you can't do that. Anyway, he wrote 1 episode of the Berenstain Bears, 17 episodes of T.J. Hooker, 12 episodes of Superboy, which was the 1990 live-action Superman show. 9 episodes of Spider-Man, the animated series, including multiple important Venom episodes.
Oh my God.
And then he's gone on to write many DC animated TV episodes and movies since. We have interviewed Stan Berkowitz back in February, and I still haven't put the interview out. I'm sorry, Stan Berkowitz, listening to this. Directed by Kenji Hachizaki, which is another new one. He's only had 3 other directing credits, which are all future DCAU episodes. But he was in the animation department on a bunch of shit, so I feel like it's one of those like last time where it's like, yeah, just make him director. He was in the animation department on Belle, a 2021 anime movie. Pokemon, Lupin the Third, Space Dandy, Bleach, Naruto, Animaniacs, The Tigger Movie, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Tiny Toons, Little Nemo, and Akira. That was in reverse order. So
I'm sorry.
Stuff.
What?
I'm sorry.
What did he do? What did he do on Akira?
I don't know. He was just in the animation department, so he did something cool, probably.
That's
Music
so cool.
is by Lolita Ritmanis. Your favorite.
My hero.
Animation is by Tokyo Movie Shinsha.
All right.
And that's the stuff we say. Brian, what do you do? What do you got in terms of like a beverage or drink or something there with you at the moment? The segment that we do where we're drinking drinks. You have been drinking something. What is that? Is it just water?
Vodka. Vinegar.
Vinegar. That's much better. I've got iced tea.
I got water.
I just wanted to tell you that today's Yoppie Bevs come to us from James Alvarez.
Oh my gosh!
Who donated on the Buy Me a Coffee. There's a link in the description if you want to go buy us a Yoppie Bev.
What?
Yeah. He says, after falling down a Watchtower rabbit hole, thanks, Barry Allen Vid, I decided to give this pod a chance. Been bouncing around Batman episodes I particularly enjoy, but your start of Superman has me hooked. James's Ra's al Ghul impression in the Last Son of Krypton episode had me bursting out in laughter at work, and I knew I found my people. I now look forward to watching along every week, rediscovering how STAS, even more than BTAS, established my love for comic books and formulated a small part of my worldview. Keep up the great work, guys. Thank you, James. And since you donated 1 Yoppie Bev, that's $5, and we get to do 5 push-ups.
Oh my God, let's go.
Go.
Oh my God, let's go.
Yes. You got 1 push-up, and a 2 push-up, and a 3 push-up, and a 4 push-up, and a 5 push-up. We did it. I did it. I did it later than you. I'm slower.
I was so excited. Jason?
James. Who forgot his name? God, it's my name.
Wait, is it actually James?
Yeah, it's James.
Yes. My bad. Thank you, James, but not you, Jamie.
All right, cool. Do you want to, now that we got our blood pumping, we're ready to go watch a Superman episode?
Down.
Let's go sit.
Yeah.
Like we're doing already.
Yeah.
Yeah, but more.
Roses, roses. Would you like a rose?
No, thanks.
They smell wonderful, see?
I don't smell anything.
But they're very fragrant.
Get away.
He's on the tracks.
Get off of there, you jerk!
Last stop, everyone! Last stop!
You said the Metallica joke in the theater.
Yeah.
I know Metallica, and I was like, oh my god, who did Smells Like Teen Spirit? It's Nirvana.
Nirvana. What?
I know it's not Metallica. I knew that. I just had to confirm because I was just like, what if it was though? And then he couldn't smell anything. You see the connection? You understand?
Smells like nothing at all, Teen Spirit.
I can't smell shit, Luthor, he said.
I was down on all fours on the sidewalk trying to smell a pile of dog shit, and I couldn't smell it.
Put my face right in the shit, and I couldn't smell it. I can never smell dog shit again. This is very close to the racial cool voices. This is the same point. Hey, tell me what happened in Metallica's Revenge.
You gotta press the button.
Oh, whoops, hang on. Wait, I'm supposed to tell you first the official synopsis. We don't remember how to do this anymore. It's another one. No, this is 2 sentences.
What if we just go back? What if we just go back to the old way and you say, "Tell me what happens," and you hit the button, and then we do the thing.
All right, that sounds.
It seems
good.
like there's a weird. We hit a weird tempo with it.
It is weird. Okay, here it is.
Weird.
If you're wondering,
I'm wondering.
What did I just watch?
Cooney, what did I watch?
Take a listen to the synopsis. The short summary, which is sometimes kind of long.
We'd like to thank Cooney Phoenix for the song that we always talk over. Thank
you. Maybe we should. What if we have Cooney Phoenix on the show and like. Then
they
like
can just
Cooney's...
sing it live.
Oh,
harmonize 4 times or whatever.
I'd be incredibly impressed.
Yes. So what did happen in Metallica's Revenge?
So here's the deal. Metallica's Revenge.
That's what I said the first time and you had no reaction whatsoever.
I must have been distracted. I'm sorry. Metallica. Okay, so are you like gunning for that to be
I don't know.
Show?
It's in there. It's in the options. You know, maybe something better.
All right. So what happens? Corbin, what's his last name?
Corbin Johnson.
What's his name?
That is his last name is Corbin. His first name is John.
Yeah. So Corbin Johnson is he's in prison and he's getting fancy foods and then he's like, "Oh, I'm kind of having a heart attack." And the guard's like, "Do you want help?" And he's like, "Nope."
He's like, maybe it's all that Taco Bell you keep eating, Mr.
He's
Johnson.
like, "You keep eating Taco Bell. Maybe it's all that rich ass Taco Bell you're eating." And then there's a doctor and he's like, "Guess what? You like kind of have this nasty virus and it's going to kill you like really like in a couple of days." Mm-hmm. And then he's like, "I don't like that." And the doctor's like, "But check it out. Lex Luthor wants to turn you into Metallica." And he's like, I do like
Mr.
Metallica.
Metallica himself.
he's like Seek and Destroy was just one of the greatest rock songs of all time.
I would like to seek and destroy Superman, but I can't do that currently in my human status.
Can you just like play Seek and Destroy lightly in the background, or that immediately be copyright? Wouldn't it?
I don't know. We play plenty of other shit. Who knows? Whatever the Harvey Bullock song really is.
Yeah, right. So anyway, Corbin gets turned into Metallica, and for those who didn't watch the episode, Kimmy,
my God, Kimmy,
basically. Lex Luthor's like, okay, buddy, here, buckle up. I'm sorry, future James and Brian. This is going to be a long one.
Whatever.
He's like, okay, so check it out. This is Lex Luthor. He's like, I got an idea for you. What if you take off your skin and we like pull out your consciousness with a syringe or however, they don't really talk about it.
Just do it off screen.
And then we like give you a robot body and we like cover it in your skin. Mm-hmm. Is that cool? And he's like, yep. And then he becomes a robot, and he's like, I can't feel or smell or drink or eat anything. And he's like, I'm gonna go beat up Superman as a result. And then
I tested all of the options on the rose that the lady tried to give me. I tried to eat it. I tried to smell it. I tried to have sex with it. It didn't work. None of it works. I'm Jerry Seinfeld.
So, he like fights a train and some cops, and then Corbin Johnson gets away. And then Superman's like, you know what? I gotta unget him away. And then they're all like, it's time to fight Superman and Metallica. And so Metallica and Superman are like duking it out. And then Metallica's like, guess what? Got a green rock in my heart. And Superman.
That's how he says it too. Hey, Superman. Guess what? Got a good rock in my heart. Oh no, that's my weakness.
And so then like Kurt Cobain or whatever is having a bad time, and Lois Lane is like, I've got a Porsche 944 that looks kind of strange, but that's basically what it is. Or not 928?
No one knows. No one cares.
Hold on. I care.
No. Speaking of how you say things, is it Porsche or Porsche?
It's Porsche, and I have a very hard time not saying Porsche.
Is that the American bad, stupid way to say it? It's just Porsche? Yeah, okay,
yes, it is.
I just feel like it's one of those assholey, when you say Porsche, it's like, just say it wrong.
Yeah.
But, you know. Anyway.
Yeah, I get it. So anyway, Lois pulls up in her Porsche and
fuck you. Just say it wrong.
Porch. Lois Lane pulls up in her porch, and then Superman's like, "I'm gonna take your car. I'm gonna run Metallica off the road," and it works. And then Lois Lane's got like a really pointy manicure, and then
glad you noticed. Yeah.
Fast forward.
Oh, but I took a drink a second ago. It's fine. It works. You just have water.
Well, now
vodka.
And then we're fast forwarding, and Robo Metallica, RoboCop. No, just Metallica. Metallica goes to
trying out stuff. Yeah.
Lex Luthor's yacht, and it's like, I'm gonna throw your girl into the ocean, and then that's the last we're gonna see of her. So that's cool. Let's go drive some more.
In water.
Yeah, she's fine. 100 miles from land. She's fine. She can definitely swim that far. No sharks.
No shark in there.
And they're like, let's like talk on a boat. You got to get me Superman. And then Superman's like, hey, yo, what's up, girls? I'm here. Ha And then
everyone just was so in character this episode.
And there's a big fight between Superman and Metallica, and then Superman's like, bro, yo, check it. Lex Luthor was poisoning you with this virus in your food. How do you think you got it? And then he's like, right, I'm gonna fuck up Lex Luthor. And then Superman's like, lol, and he blows up the boat.
He does blow up the boat. There's so
does.
much wanton property damage in this
There's
episode.
a lot. And then Corbin Johnson's like, I'm going to like drown but not drown because I don't have lungs anymore. And Lex Luthor's like, I'm going to have Superman save me so I don't get sharked to death. And then we close out the episode with Corbin having Pirates of the Caribbean undead walk.
You said that as Luthor was looking at the sunset, and you're like, Pirates of the Caribbean shot. And I was thinking, like, what? What shot in Pirates of the Caribbean is man look at sun? I mean, there's like in the third one, but I knew you weren't going to be referencing that. And I was just like, what is he talking about? And then, oh yeah, the Skelly boys on the bottom of the ocean, like that works. Yeah, it was exactly what it was. Yeah.
So that's cool. my long synyop.
Okay, well, let me tell you the official Warner Brothers synopsis. It's 2 sentences, like I said. Just buckle up. Thanks to the orchestrations of Lex Luthor, terrorist John Corbin becomes Metallo. I got all those names wrong. A skin-covered cyborg with a kryptonite heart. Luthor then sets the supervillain on a quest to kill Superman. I don't think he does that. I don't think he sets him on anything. He just kind of leans into, well, no, I guess he tells him like, hey, your heart's kryptonite, so like if you wanted to, you could probably hurt Superman or something.
Yeah, that's fair. Also, like, why did Superman doesn't seem to have the same like drive to not kill people that Batman has? Certainly
not. When he showed up to, so I was thinking about that with the first fight that they have, which is I'm sure what you're alluding to here, which is the news reporter guy is like, he's as strong as Superman and bullets don't do shit to him. And Superman goes, okay, so I can just use 100% force here. And like you said, I think he like dick stomps him into the building. What did you describe it as? Dick bump or something? Crotch bump? I can't remember.
Something like that.
Yeah, he comes up and like pelvic thrusts him into a building across the street. And then after he's in, like he just keeps throwing him through buildings and like slamming him into the ground and all this stuff. And I was just thinking like, all you know is that bullets don't affect him. What if he's just a regular guy in, like a translucent suit, or he's got like titanium skin, but it's paper, everything else. Like you're just murdering this man. You have no idea. But I guess it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's supposed to be that way, that like Superman is less like experienced and trained and stuff. Like Batman went around the world like learning martial arts and how to center himself and learn all this shit, and Superman just showed up and beed strong. And so he has no
I guess the thing for me that's like really like, I mean, not necessarily off-putting, but certainly confusing.
Yeah.
Is like he doesn't have a problem like destroying people, being vicious or whatever. Like he didn't go for he didn't save the girl. He didn't go save Corbin.
He didn't stop those missiles flying overhead.
Oh, he didn't talk about the So 2 missiles go blow up Alcatraz.
Interesting. Yeah.
And he's just like, I'm on my bicycle.
Well. Yeah. Not wearing a weird flat helmet like the other people.
Yeah, the like 1930s football helmet.
Yeah.
Just a slab of leather. That's going to protect my brain.
The Scarecrow put his dust in there. Be careful.
So the thing that gets me is like, with all that being said and all the crazy shit and destruction that Superman caused in this episode, he saves Lex Luthor, who's like, boat blew up on the Atlantic. And
he could have just been like, boat, but had no idea that it would only cause both their butts to be on fire. Like, what it could have murdered Lex Luthor. I don't know.
But like, what I'm saying is like, Lex is in the water. He's about to get jawsed, and Superman's like, you know what? I'm gonna save you. He could have not. It could have been a billionaire Lex Luthor's yacht exploded, and there were no survivors.
Yeah.
And then all of Superman's like issues would be gone. Why did he bother?
Like 4 episodes in, I don't know. He doesn't know. I guess I don't know. He's got his Kansas boy like, I'll be a good American citizen or something.
But he doesn't save Corbin, who he doesn't know is going to survive this. He didn't save the girl. Like, how many people died as Corbin was getting blasted through several floors of those buildings?
Right. Yeah. What's the radius on Superman's like hearing shit also, because Corbin's in like presumably whatever the most populated area of the city is, slamming a train around and throwing it at people, and Superman's nowhere to be found. He's just at work,
Yeah, right.
Just doing his day job. And then, but then the guy, when he's like, I see him on TV, I'll go, yeah, no, there's all these other people that might have been crushed by train pieces or stabbed through with shrapnel that's flying around. Yeah.
Shrapneled real hard. I would love it if you could make a Watchtower video of
How
like
many
all
people, people's deaths is Superman accidentally responsible for?
Well, yeah, like how many times has Superman just like stayed at work while like multiple people died? He's like, I don't know. The cameras aren't on me. I'm just gonna like.
I really got to get this byline in.
Yeah.
Perry White's counting on me. There's like screams coming from. God, would you guys just wait a second?
So do you think there's like an actual likelihood that like the train crashes and then Clark just kind of looks over his desk and just kind of like shrugs his shoulders a little bit?
Yeah.
Like, I just gotta
peers into the
article.
distance like, and everyone's fine.
Yeah.
It's just some guy, I don't know, whatever.
Everybody who's alive right now is fine. Those people are already dead. I can't save them.
I'm the only one that's aware of this. And then breaking news, shit.
Do you think he's just got like the news on in the background at any time? It's like some big thing. He's like,
God damn it. If you
can I
wouldn't have
just
reported
have a
this,
day?
Yeah, really. I like on the news report. I assume this was a purposeful thing, but it's always funny to me that they're like, oh, a mysterious man yet to be identified. Let's zoom in on him. It's the same animation cell we used when he was really far away, but now it's up close, so it's just like really undetailed and far away and weird. And it's like, why did you draw a new drawing? Like, I don't understand.
I like the point when you're talking about that kind of meta impression of it. Like a day earlier, they're like, Corbin, this guy Corbin, he's on the news. He's missing from this jailbreak. Everybody keep an eye out.
For murderous criminal on the loose.
And then they zoom in on him on the news. And they're like, who the fuck is this guy?
It doesn't look anything like him because
none of us at the news know.
He's at quarter resolution. We don't know what's going on.
I don't know anybody with that blurry of lines around their face.
This guy was in 1080p, but this guy over here, I don't know.
This guy's just 480, maybe even 360.
He's at 240. Yeah, God,
240i.
He's that same scene. The lady's like, "Would you like a rose?" And he's like, "Oh no, get out of my face!" But they're so good. You should have one. He's like, I don't smell anything. Oh, that's fucking weird. They're very fragrant. No, I don't smell it. Are you sure? You fucking idiot. This is a rose and it smells like she just won't shut up. Like, leave him alone, the poor bastard.
That's okay. He probably at least knocks her out or breaks a hip, you know?
Yeah, he broke. You made the joke because he shoves her aside as if she just rockets into a building or something. Fuck your roses, man. Get out of the face. Yeah.
You know, we didn't, speaking of women, something we didn't talk about is the really blatant and lacking in trigger warning of Lois Lane just getting kind of...
Yeah, where he's like, I was thinking about you a lot in prison, and then just makes out with her without her any sort of consent. He just...
Oh, yeah, like literally like this guy's a super strong robot, and he's like, well, I'm going to make out with you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least it's like, oh, well, if I didn't hate this guy before or whatever.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Would you like me to tell you about the cast of this episode?
I would love for you to tell me about the cast of this episode.
I would love to tell you. Here
my
they
God.
are in the order of the credits. Okay?
What? You can do that?
I can. I'm looking at the list right now. The first one here is Tim Daly as Superman/Clark Kent.
Tim Daly?
Yeah, next on the
Tim
list
Daly?
we got Dana Delaney as Lois Lane.
Delaney?
You remember her?
Delaney?
Yeah, you remember her from the episode?
The one from the episode?
She was there. Clancy Brown as Lex Luthor.
The Clancy?
Malcolm McDowell. Malcolm in
the middle.
Malcolm in the middle as Corbin Johnson / Metallica. Is that that whole thing? Malcolm McDowell as John Corbin / Metallo. Lauren Tom as Angela Chen.
The Lauren Tom?
Shut the fuck. John Rubino as Dr. Vale.
Johnny Rubino.
John Rubino, the one and only.
I can't go squeaky.
No, He was previously museum guard in Catwalk. Who was like,
hell
Catwoman,
yeah.
let me help you up. And she's like, fuck you. We have Jeff Glenn Bennett as Young Doctor. I don't know who Young Doctor was. Was there another doctor? There was the Alcatraz Doctor and Dr. Vale. Who's Young Doctor?
It's just a random guy in the streets hip hop name.
Yeah, my name's Young Doctor. Jeff Bennett was previously office boy in The Clock King, laughing biker in Mask of the Phantasm. He goes, whoop, whoop, whoop. And Hardak. He was Hardak.
Oh, sweet.
Which, speaking of Hardak, I didn't think of this until, like, this didn't cross my mind any of the times that I've watched this episode, but do you think that there's any sort of connection there with Hardak, with like robot replacement duplicate body guy? You know, like, because we did a video for Zeta Month that you can't watch for a long time.
Hooray!
I hypothesized in it that maybe, like, this is never confirmed one way or the other, but it would be interesting if they like tried to do the experiment, like put his brain in the robot body.
Oh,
like,
shit.
We fucked up. Just make a duplicate that thinks he's John Corbin using Hardak, and then we'll just pretend that the operation was successful.
That's kind of genius.
Yeah, it would be cool, but I don't know. It's probably not true. It could be not. Neil Ross as male anchor, who was saying the stuff that we said about the bullets and whatever. He was previously auctioneer in The Cat and the Claw Part 1, chairman in Harley and Ivy, Jake in Birds of a Feather, dealer in Harlequinade, and Ratso in Read My Lips.
He's been around.
Big teeth, yeah. He was Green Goblin in Spider-Man, the animated series, was his big thing. And last we have Jennifer Richards as Young Woman. I think it's so big, Mr. Luthor.
Oh,
your yacht is ginormous, and also your penis. This is her only DCAU acting credit, and she only ever acted in 15 other things, including Star Trek: The Next Generation and Night Court. I listed those two things because they're those two us's. I want to switch things up a little bit before we do Trivs. Let's do Keen Effects.
Yeah.
This episode.
What about that shot with the freaking kryptonite laser that he can suddenly just do?
That's my favorite shot. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it like the camera like zooms out and follows the ray as it leaves his body and hits Superman. The only thing I don't like about it is that it like comes to a perfect like point on Superman, and then it doesn't go through him. It doesn't like waver as if it's like moving into him anymore. It just kind of sits there. It like shoots out and then just and then he's just going oh as this motionless green rectangle is pointy rectangle, I don't know, cone, whatever is in his body, in his chest. That's the only bad thing, but
they missed out an opportunity to some really early internet memes there.
I'm firing my laser.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, why didn't they invent that?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I really like that shot. There's a lot of other just like cool camera angles and anime-ish choices and stuff in this episode.
Yeah, it was pretty good. There's a couple of very bad moments. I'm noticing a trend.
Okay.
That at the start of the episodes, the art is very bad.
What did you see as bad?
Corbin's like first like 15 seconds, and like when he first starts talking, he just kind of opens his mouth. And he says like 15 words, and in the middle of that, his mouth like half closes and opens back up again just once. And he says like several sentences.
He's whatever he said, and then he just holds a weird, awkward smile for too long before saying the next thing. Yeah,
he's just really been working on his ventriloquism.
I wonder. Read my lips. I wonder if you're like looking for that as part of it, because I feel like that's kind of throughout the episode, but
I didn't notice it that bad anywhere else.
Yeah. A lot of good things though. A couple episodes ago when we had the Professor Hamilton's head bobbing like a South Park Canadian, there was a couple moments of that with like really distant people that it wasn't quite as bad, but you can always see like, oh, they're really far away. Just make their mouth open and close with one, two different pictures or whatever. So
yeah,
but I don't blame them for that. It's just one of those like, it's in the crispest HD you've ever seen this. You can see every fucking thing. So.
Yeah, it was a close up of his face, and he just kind of and then said everything, and then
Well, similarly, I don't think his mouth opened at all when he was looking up from the green hole in the boat at Luthor at the top, and he's like, "Oh, you fucked me over up there, you Luthor," and he's like, his mouth is just closed the whole time. Yeah,
ventriloquism.
Yeah. What was with the vial of disease? Was like purple drink with hairs floating in it. That's how you make the...
That's what we call a virus.
Is purple drink with hair? I mean, if you've been putting that in his food over and over again, he probably would have stomach cramps. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, did you eat too much Taco Bell? We gotta put you in the Wolverine skin suit. Don't worry about it. That's the only way.
I mean, the other thing is like viruses don't really work. Like, were they trying to poison him or are they trying to infect him?
I don't know.
Because the whole like virus thing, like he put a little bit of that virus in your food every day. Like, well, you would have just been sick off the bat. It's not like a nightshade poison kind of thing that builds up. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's kind of supposed to be that just like the kid version of explaining it or whatever. Because they did that again in this episode. Like Lois Lane, who should know what sharp boxes are, like, what's this? And Superman's like, hey, kids, don't touch those. They got pointy things in them with blood and stuff, is basically what he said. Like, there was not any reason to explain what those were.
Right.
But he did anyway. I don't know. Overall, another solidly animated episode.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. It was good looking. It was good storytelling. I give it a thumbs up.
I'll give you some trivs because there's not a lot.
Okay.
The previous episode, Feeding Time, featured the debut of the anti-kryptonite suit, which would be a logical tool for Superman to use against Metallica.
Oh my
God! However, this adds up when taking the production order into account. It doesn't exist yet.
Oh, yeah, right. You said at the beginning.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay.
I looked this up because I wasn't sure what I figured the way of all flesh had to be from something, and of course it's from the Bible. Book of Kings 2:2. I am going the way of all flesh. Take thou courage and shew thyself a man.
Just take your courage and put on your shoes. You're gonna be a man if you put on shoes.
That's what John Corbin did in this episode.
John Corbin's
I can't even feel the insoles in my shoes anymore. My back problems will persist. What's going on? It's also the title of a 1903 autobiographical, there you go, James, novel by Samuel Butler that attacks Victorian-era hypocrisy.
Oh, man.
And it's also the name of a 1927 Victor Fleming film. The film is considered a lost film in that it has never been archived and no studio currently owns the rights.
Oh.
Interesting. The only other notable work titled Way of All Flesh I could find is a 2008 album by French heavy metal band Gojira.
Oh, my God. I should have known that.
It's also the name of the final song on the album. A really cool thing that I didn't obviously know, but maybe you've heard of, I don't know. The 2013 vinyl re-release of this album features a hidden instrumental song within, in that the main song ends at 6 minutes 51 seconds. The instrumental bonus track begins at 12 minutes 33 seconds with a period of silence in the middle lasting 5 minutes and 42 seconds. So like if you don't just leave it playing, you'll never hear the song, which is really cool to me.
I used to love when like bands would do that.
Yeah. The only other thing I've got is I thought it'd be fun to look up because Superman's villains were getting into like less, known characters. So like obviously you knew the Joker and Penguin and on Two-Face and whatever. Right. But like these are all like Parasite, Metallica. Who the hell are these people? So I thought I would look up
Korean film The Parasite, American rock band Metallica. Who are you?
Gojira band The Way of All Flesh, or album The Way of All Flesh.
Let's listen to some Gojira.
So I looked up Metallo's very first comic origin story from 1959, Action Comics number 252. John Corbin appeared for a single issue. Was an unscrupulous Metropolis reporter who looked almost exactly like Superman, but with a mustache. He was nearly killed in a car accident, but saved by one Professor Vale, so same guy from this episode, who replaced Corbin's failing limbs with a metallic alloy and his heart with a uranium pump. Corbin got a job at the Daily Planet, and due to his resemblance to Superman, Lois Lane fell in love with him.
Oh, shit. Did he give her the uranium pump?
Oh, yeah. That's the title. So Corbin would need to continuously break into various facilities to steal more uranium to survive.
Oh, what? Because that's just like, gotta break into Foot Locker and steal their uranium.
Yeah, it's in the Burger King. It probably is. But Professor Vale would go on to discover that kryptonite worked better than uranium for the heart, so it was replaced. And since Corbin figured Superman would try to arrest him for his theft crimes, he instead turned his attention to destroying the Man of Steel. This is all one comic issue, by the way, and also a 50s comic, which is usually split up into like 3 different stories. So I was flying by here. Superman baited a trap for Corbin, who had renamed himself Metallo for no reason, by announcing a public museum display of kryptonite, which backfired as Metallo nearly killed Superman, then traveled to Lois Lane's apartment where he planned to kill her. But his kryptonite power supply ran out, and he had a heart attack and died.
Oh.
Unbeknownst to Corbin, Superman had just painted a regular rock with phosphorescent green paint.
Oh my God.
So talking about Superman's no-kill rule, he's like, fuck you.
Weird. So does Superman have a crush on Lex or something?
I guess so, yeah. He just keeps saving him.
He's like, I want you to want me, Lex.
I want you to not be killed by a shark. You can only be eaten by me, he says. Following DC's universe resetting Crisis on Infinite Earths event in 1985, John Corbin's history was rewritten, and as Metallo, he has gone on to menace Superman for decades. Between John Corbin's death and Crisis on Infinite Earths, however, John's brother Roger Corbin took up the mantle of Metallo. This was completely news to me. Part of an anti-Superman crime cartel called Skull, which apparently stands for something, but I can't find it because there's little dots between the letters. But
Superman, kill you, loser, loser.
Yeah, perfect. Roger was sent to steal particles from Star Labs that could be used to create synthetic kryptonite, but his Skull superiors sabotaged the heist in order to crush Roger and rebuild him as a new Metallo. Luckily, he already harbored vengeful feelings toward Superman, whom he blamed for his brother John's death, rightfully, because Superman put a fucking rock in his chest. Roger would be a nuisance to Superman and Batman numerous more times before Crisis on Infinite Earths erased him from existence.
Also, how do you it's like, oh, this Burger King uranium ran out. I gotta slap this kryptonite in my chest.
Yeah.
How do you do that without ceasing to exist if that's your power source?
You have to take out the other one first or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
Did you ever see that episode of Adventure Time where BMO has to replace their batteries?
Oh, actually, yes.
Yeah. And they lay them on the ground and then pull out the batteries and dies and falls back right onto the batteries.
Into the new ones, yeah. That's what he has to do. Line himself up with the rock. And the Superman's like, fuck you, it's just a rock, you idiot.
The end.
Yeah. Let's do... I almost said Batman's usefulness. I've added a little thing. I went back and cataloged all of Superman's powers that we've seen so far. People have suggested that we do like a tally if there's a new power in an episode or whatever.
Okay.
So I went and backtracked the ones that we've the first instances of each one of these, and I'm gonna tell you what that instance is, and then you tell me what the power is called. Okay, and we'll list them out.
Oh hell yeah!
Superman as a little baby. This is the first time we see this one. He's a little baby boy. They pull him out the rocket. Jonathan Kent is like, oh, quite a grip he's got there. Yow! What do you call that? What's that?
Ultra Crush.
Ultra Crush. Okay, good. I'll hyphenate that. Then we've got Superman as he's a teenager in high school. He's talking to Lana Lang walking around the campus, and he's like, I look over there. I can hear what's her dick talking to so and so about the thing. Oh, and he's like, what? How that asshole? Wait, what's that? What happened?
Dog listening.
There we go.
He's got the ability to
Good.
listen like a dog. It's dog listening.
With an apostrophe at the end.
Yeah.
I've also written selective next to it because we have our
Selective dog listening. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just put selective dog listening because he's got there was I can hear the bad guys approaching, but I can't hear an airplane right next to me.
Yeah.
Next, in the same scene, he looks through the wall and sees Mrs. What's her face putting up a banner in the cafeteria or whatever for the dance.
Yeah.
What's he using there to see that?
Pervo vision.
Okay, cool. The next thing that happens is there's in that same scene. We get a lot of reveals in this scene. This is Last Son of Krypton Part 2. He hears like a thing really far away. There's going to be a car crash, and then he goes, and he zips away real fast. And what do we got there?
Sonic the Hedgehoggin.
Okay.
It's got to be a lot of apostrophes.
I lumped this into the same category as dreidel powers from Fun and Games. So are we counting that as a separate power, or is that part of Sonic the Hedgehoggin?
That's separate.
Can we just call it Hedgehoggin?
Yes.
I think that. Okay, cool. I'm slightly vetoing. The next thing, he returns home from the car crash, and he's like, "Dad, look, I can melt this crowbar in your hands just by looking at it." And he's like, "Yeah, that's really hot."
Hot.
I'm just putting you on the spot to come up with bullshit.
I'm usually pretty good at it, but this one's getting me.
Sonic the Hot Hoggin. Oh god.
I feel like the like low ball is like hot looking, but I don't know. Is that the one, or should I get more creative?
Just the hot look, and it's got like a trademark symbol at the end of it.
Okay, yeah, the hot look. That's good. Thank you.
Okay. In the car scene, he's describing that the fire never touched me, and later on we see that bullets are bouncing off of him and all that kind of stuff. So his body is like all, can resist things that would otherwise kill a normal human man.
Well, I kind of want to do like an adamantium Wolverine thing, but like Wolverine on the outside, but that doesn't make sense.
That's where we had Metallo this episode.
yeah, that's more.
You will have claws that can come out of your fingers.
Fuck. What do we do for invulnerability? I mean...
What?
I mean, he's... no, good at... no. Skin hard as nipples. That's dumb.
Yeah, that is. Let's just do hard skin. All one word. Then he finds out he's from an alien planet, and he runs away like a little bitch, and he's jumping over a like little cliffside thing. He's like, "Oh, whoa, I can do a big jump."
Yep. He's
I've written big jump, but
he's airbending.
Okay. There we go. So the next one is flight. Did you just lump that into the same thing?
Yeah, that's just all airbending.
Okay. The next one, or penultimate power here, Jimmy Olsen is showing Superman a photo of Lex Luthor shaking hands with a Kasnian man, and then Superman looks real hard at the photo, looks real far into the photo. He zoom and enhances, and what are we calling that? Zoom and enhance.
Superman's bifocal spectacular. You gotta spell
with his name in it.
Well, yeah, you gotta put an E on the end as if it's like an over 60 cruise.
Spectaculare.
Yeah.
And the last one is he's fighting the Lexoskel 5000 on a rooftop, and it's about to fall off the roof, and he walks up and goes, whoo, and then it falls off the roof.
Okay. Garlic breath?
Garlic breath. All right, cool.
Or like halitosis. I don't know. Garlic breath.
I just like garlic breath. I have 3 weaknesses listed so far.
Okay.
And I don't know if we want to give these any funny names, but he's fighting Lexoskel 5000, and he's riding on its back, and it goes no, and presses a button, and it goes zappy zappy.
Oh, yeah. That's a hard one. How do you define... Like, he's been, like, jellyfished.
Okay. So, be jellyfished is his weakness, the weakness?
Yeah.
Then, of course, we have a big green rock.
Oh, yeah.
Big green rock.
This has got to be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to come up quite often, I suppose.
I mean, do we do the, like, Wizard of Oz thing, like Emerald? Do we do, like, the green rock? fear of green. What's fear of the color green called? Prasinophobia.
How do you spell this?
Prasino. Prasinophobia.
Okay, cool. And then the last one I have is parasite being parasite. The big suck? Is that what we were calling it before?
Yeah.
Okay. Which Cleopatra lady also had this power, I suppose. Okay, so we have so far, and we will add to this if a new something shows up. So far for powers, we have Ultra Crush, Selective Dog Listening, Pervo Vision, Hedgehoggin / Dreidel powers, The Hot Look, Hard Skin, Big Jump / Airbending, Superman's Bifocal Spectacular, and Garlic Breath. And his weaknesses are
like Bifocal Spectacular.
Yes. His weaknesses are to be jellyfished, Prasinophobia, and the big suck.
Wow.
Well, we'll add to that if we come up against any new buddies.
Hell yeah.
All right. Books or hip hop?
Oh, this is
The title is based on a book title, kind of, maybe, but I don't know.
that's a really good point. Hip hop.
There we go. Okay, I get to play the song for you. So this is from Eric LeBeau. My mom did the auto tuning, and we added in Jordan Blumen's trumpet mouth noises, and we have the Balderarchy jingle, and here it is.
He's bald, I'm bald, we're all bald. But who's the baddest bald of all? It's James and Brian's final call. The Balderarchy.
Woo! Thank you, all those people. I was so happy when I first heard that.
God.
I've been waiting like 3 weeks to show that to you.
Oh my God. I'm
so
sorry to have had COVID for the second week in a row.
Yeah, you just had it for so long.
That's incredible. Thank you, everybody who knowingly or
Was a part
unknowingly
of that, yeah.
participated.
I got to put a new, it probably won't be in this one, I don't know, but I got to put a new thanks to those people.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Okay, so now that that's passed, our candidates this episode are, of course, Lex Luthor.
And Metallica.
Yeah. Do we want to count either of those doctor guys? Because the first guy in the Alcatraz, he was very bald.
Oh my God, you're right.
But I don't know.
You know what?
I mean,
I'm tired of giving it to Lex.
Yeah.
I want to say that, like, even though he's like the big bad, he's the one making all the calls, which makes all the bad happen. Mm-hmm. I mean, I want to give my vote towards Metallica.
I think so too, because he can't even. His hair is made of Metallica in the episode. Like,
yeah.
They tell him, like, even your skin's Metallica. They said exactly
and
that.
He's like nothing else matters.
So Balderarchy, this is the Wave All Flesh Metallica.
Jamie, that was a funny Metallica joke I made.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Say it again.
No, it's okay.
Oh.
Do you think he took any naps when he was walking on the bottom of the ocean?
Is that just also a reference?
No, I'm just wondering, like, do you think he, like, it was a long walk. Do you think he, like, took a nap? Because he could have been laying there at the bottom of the seafloor and just been like, enter Sandman.
Yeah.
That's another Metallica.
I was waiting for what it was going to be, and you disappointed.
Don't worry, I have more.
There was a fade to black at the end of the episode.
Oh, that's true.
By being inside sort of a human shell, but he's controlling it from within. He's sort of a master of puppets. You could say.
That's true. And when he was like on the bottom of the ocean, just walking along, trying to figure out his way back to not Gotham. What am I trying to say? Metropolis. He's just thinking, like, wherever I may roam. It's sad but true. And then he got there and was like, everyone was like, welcome home.
Yeah, the kryptonite was his fuel. All right, that'll do.
Yeah.
The last thing that we do before we move on to mail is we do the top 10 / Yop 10.
Yeah.
Are you putting this? We have to put it on the top 10. Where are you putting it on your You have, in reverse order, fun and I love the gays, feeding to me, a little piece of pie, and the longest song of Krypton. So where are you going to put it among that?
I don't. This was a pretty good episode.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it on number 3.
Okay. I think I'm putting it at my number 2.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Now, the Yop 10, we've said before, is not necessarily linked to the top 10 of the order, but it is just if an episode really stuck out to us as like, that was a damn good episode, it should go on there. I think I am going to put this above The Man Who Killed Batman on my Yop 10.
Really?
Yeah, I really like. I didn't express it in this discussion too hard, but I really like this episode in terms of the art, but also in terms of the struggle that Metallo guy is going through, and it's a very he's a really good actor, the guy voicing him, and he's also just he's selling it really well. That oh fuck, that would really suck to be this guy. And I actually felt something from it instead of okay, Toyman, whatever, Parasite, whatever,
Okay, that's fair. You're making me second guess.
You still have Joker's favor as your number 10, and can you even tell me what the hell happens in that episode?
Yeah, he's got a favor. He does a favor for a guy. He goes grocery shopping.
Yeah, the Joker does a favor. That's exactly right. Yeah.
I mean, this one didn't land super hard for me. It was good.
But you don't have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to be here. Yes, you do. Let's do the mail. Okay, and then when we come back, I tell Brian the name of the next episode. He tells me what it's about. 500 million over here. Do I hear 550?
Yeah.
I got 27 cents.
At one small extra yop, put it over.
We drop
What we drop?
our weekly yaps
Oh yeah, those.
into the comment box. First, there sure was a lot.
Now Jamie's mad.
Too bad we're wrong.
At least I am.
Just Dylan Pollock.
I'm happy to be Dylan.
If you would like to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of the Cat in the Claw Part 2, you can send an email or a 60-second voice message to batwagonpod@gmail.com or leave a comment on today's episode on the Podtower YouTube channel. But please do not spoil anything past this episode for Brian, for he is a small
jolly good
baby
fellow.
For he's a small jolly good fellow.
I'm so small in real life.
And
Did you know that, listener? I'm only 4'10".
I used a picture of Dylan. By the way, I should just mention because I like it. I've been listening to a lot of movies to watch before you die lately.
Oh, it's super good.
Just Dylan podcasts Pollock. It is very entertaining. I also sent in a voice message in which I speak very matter of factly because Dylan's used to how I would talk to him, and Gab. The message is over. I called Dylan an idiot in the message for disliking Hercules and blah, blah, blah. And then the message is over and Gab goes, first of all, the fucking balls on this guy. And I was like, oh, yeah. Well, you don't know me. Sorry. So, But I'm going to be on there next month, theoretically, as long as it works out, for
Awesome.
Alien and Aliens.
Awesome.
So that'll be fun. Yeah. Gab didn't like Mask of the Phantasm.
What? I didn't listen to that one. I am.
She's mentioned it a few
God,
times, yeah.
Dylan, forgive me, dude. I am several episodes behind.
I've been selective dog listening to Dylan Pollock's podcast because there's some of the movies I haven't seen before and I don't want to be spoiled on them. But
yeah,
a lot of them I have seen.
I've had that same reaction, but there's ones I'm like, oh, I want to see that.
Exactly.
And it's in my queue of 8,000 other podcasts to listen to.
Yeah. Let's go to emails. This is from Eric LeBeau, who has sent it. He did the Balderaki song. Thank you, Eric. Says, hey, James Olson and Brian Iak. I'm up to episode 58 of the podcast now and figured I'd finally throw my hat in the ring on one of those recent episodes. And what an episode to start with, considering the massive coincidence. Forgot to mention this in the audio, but they are pronounced the same despite being spelled differently. Oh, LeBeau was the guy driving the truck with Parasite in the back of the truck. It's
Oh!
name, not spelled the same.
So I legit had to do a triple take to make sure I wasn't hearing Martin's last name wrong. I thought there's no way a fictional character has the same last name as me with how uncommon it is. And it kind of is and isn't. I checked the wiki and the spelling is the traditional French way of spelling it, whereas mine is the slightly anglicized version of it that happened when my family immigrated to America however long ago from France. If I had to guess, it went something like this.
All right, last name?
Libo.
Right, Lebow. Okay, mister, you and your family get up on the Hydra's back. That's the name of the boat.
Similarly unlikely last names with criminals aside, I really enjoyed this episode. Parasite's a pretty obscure character, but I think the team did a great job bringing him to the screen. Likewise in Superman, Man of Tomorrow, which is a pretty good film in my opinion. Feels kind of cheap that he lost via kryptonite, but then again...
It was a big rock.
Looking forward to hearing what you guys thought as well as the Balderarchy theme whenever it gets done. Keep calm and yop on.
Yeah, baby, it's there. I love the fog in the background, the foghorn.
I like that. Good. A for effort on that voice message. Thank you for that.
From Scotty Cameron, Superman has parasites in his tubes. Hey, yappy dude. So it appears Superman has a parasitic infection. What I'd recommend he do is go to his doctor, get an ivermectin prescription. God damn it. Because that's what ivermectin is actually supposed to treat,
right?
Not COVID. Yeah.
This is a PSA for you, by the way.
Yeah, it sure is. Okay, so I really like Parasite the villain because he's a villain who can steal Superman's powers and pose a threat to him without relying on a green rock. I will say, since My Adventures with Superman, that's the newest cartoon, was brought up as the first Superman cartoon to air since STAS, I'd like to point out that Legion of Superheroes was technically a Superman cartoon that aired between the two shows. I know it's not exactly a Superman cartoon, but Superman's the main character throughout most of the show. Yeah, okay. Well, all right. Since Jamie read the bit about bleeding Kansas in my last email, I just want to say now you know more about Kansas and knowing is half the... Oh, now you know more about Kansas knowing is half the battle. Stay uppy, Scotty. I do know more about Kansas. All I knew before was that it's in the middle and Superman's from there.
You sound like people trying to describe where New Hampshire is. It's out east, right?
It's in the middle. Yeah. Fiacra Horgan. Hey, Brian and James. Another week, another episode of Superman. It's cool that the team working on this show have a bit more freedom when it comes to censorship. It was a surprise to hear Lex just flat out say to Superman, I'll just have to kill you, rather than off you or get rid of you, etc.
Oh, yeah.
P.S. Hey, Lex, maybe just poison Superman with kryptonite and shoot him instead of control. I'll get a gun. It's in my room. Instead of controlling a bumbling robotic dinosaur. Keep it simple, dude. Now on to feeding time. It's cool that Star Labs and Professor Hamilton understand the importance of brand recognition with the two new suits they designed for soups. Jesus, that Parasite origin is horrifying. Parasite's a good addition to Superman's rogues gallery in this show, and his gimmick helps to combat the usual complaint that Superman is too overpowered. I also really like the closed mouth effect they gave Parasite. It's suitably creepy. Another good episode. 6 episodes into the show and no clunkers so far, which is better than can be said of btas. See you guys next time. That's true. Yeah, you had that kind of thought about Superman being too overpowered, and so far he's doing okay. Other than he just like, oh, the big hole in the wall? Well, I'll just rip out a piece of the island and put it in there instead.
Oh, that was so fucking funny. That was great.
Yeah. Kyle. Thank you, Bridagon and Jorman, for reading my previous email in your prestigious podcast. Hopefully more exposure of the KPS, the Kryptonite Preservation Society, will result in funding and maybe even some grants. On a more personal note, I must issue a correction. My name isn't pronounced Kyle like Superman, but like the vegetable kale. Okay. Which is best because if I was Superman, I would be unable to continue to pursue my academic passion. Speaking of which, this week's summary. Size, a hand. Color, green. Current location in Star Labs, previously from the North Pole of Krypton. Vibe, Macarena, Bayside Boys Mix, Los Del Rio. Thank you once again. I shall continue to hope that one day I shall be able to hold Kryptonite in my own two hands. Until next time, Kale, founder, curator, and director of operations of the Kryptonite Preservation Society. Thank you.
Love it.
Dino-faced individual.
Oh, hello.
Comment submitted by Mark Hamilton. I was meaning to find a place where I could vent my opinions, but I couldn't find anywhere that wasn't Yelp. Then a former colleague of mine, Professor Achilles Milo, it's the guy from Cat Scratch Fever and the Werewolf episode, suggested I use this website. I've heard some say that I'm partly to blame for Parasite's creation. Yes, I know that I created a strange gloop in a city with a superhero, but how was I supposed to know a random man would get drenched in it like a donut in coffee? Speaking of said superhero, why did Superman have to purposely break so much lab equipment? Maybe he's the orphan son of billionaires, but I don't think he has the assets to cover the thousands, if not millions of dollars of damages caused.
That's a really good point.
He's always breaking shit. I do appreciate Superman, but his reckless abandon grates on me sometimes. I'll give Parasite a 1 out of 5 donuts glazed in pink sucky juice, which is a Parasite origin in some comics. Jordan Newman feeding time.
You're listening to the Gotham Insider, bringing you investigative pieces from right out in the field. I'm Jack Ryder, reporting from Metropolis, where Superman just got his ass handed to him and then disappeared for a few days. Are we sure the rubber duck incident wasn't a hoax? No, I suppose it couldn't be a hoax. The guy that kicked his ass then flew away. Why is everyone flying? What's wrong with this place? This place is weird. I don't like it. Well, anyway, we're apparently dealing with some sort of villain that can steal people's power, some sort of power man, purple man, absorbing man. No, that doesn't sound right either. Something will come to me, don't you worry. Now over to the music. I like the weird leitmotif for the Parasite. It was kind of cool. I also really like the little triumphant thing that happens when Jimmy decides to go investigate Star Labs. Never apologize for loving your fandom and try to stay optimistic.
He made it. 59 seconds. Fantastic.
Right to the point, Jordan.
Daniel Barnhart. Hello, James and Brian. I love the episode The Way of All Flesh. This is the episode where Superman shows he's not a working class hero. He is so surprised when John Corbin destroys a subway train on the local news. If he was a real reporter like Peter Parker, he would have been there to stop the subway from being destroyed. I don't trust any hero that's too good to take the subway. He may be faster than a locomotive, but that still does not give him the right to let innocent people die on the subway. Also, why is Lex so obsessed with robots? When Superman comes to Metropolis, Lex's master plan is to kill Superman by attacking him with robots. First with the Lexo 3000, then with 5000, then a robotic T-Rex. When will this fixation with robots end for him? When he falls in love with a robot? Bruce Timm would never put his sexual fetishes in a Superman cartoon, LOL. Sincerely, Daniel Barnard. Let's see. Dylan Pollock. Must be read in an Arnold impression. Oh, boy.
Which Arnold?
I think Schwarzenegger.
What about Hey Arnold? It could be a Hey Arnold impression.
How does he talk?
Like a normal human with no distinct vocal characteristics?
I'll do that one. Hello, James and Brian. This episode is a ripoff Schwarzenegger noises. The ending is just an I'll be back, but he doesn't even say it. Now Dylan will tell you the rest of the important things because I'm too upset. More Schwarzenegger noises. It's weird that he put those there with the Hey Arnold impression.
Why did he write that? That's strange.
That's so weird. Yeah.
It's time for the Thoughts of the Week from Dylan Pollock on The Way of All Flesh, or Terminator Origins. So I couldn't help but think when Corbin throws himself on the train tracks and basically causes the same delay that happens every day on the New York City subways when people throw themselves in front of the train tracks. Is that too dark?
Pretty dark.
Too much? Also found myself doing the super douchey thing of being like, why doesn't Superman just fly away from Metallo and he's high up in the sky and can use heat vision? And then Corbin fires a kryptonite beam out of his chest and it's like, oh, that's why. Also with Metallo, found it very cool when he's basically just ripping his face off. And I imagine in live action that would look really amazing. I just picture it being like the scene from Poltergeist where the guy's peeling his face off in the mirror. Mm-hmm. And I want to say I'm going to be very mad at you guys if the episode title has somehow nothing to do with Corbin yeeting that woman off the boat. But enough about this episode. It's time for the question of the week. James' favorite part.
That's my favorite part.
What are you scared of? Like, you are a baby for this thing. Is it spiders? Is it jump scares in movies? Anything like that. For me, it's, the two things that I just said.
It's nothing in horror movies unless they're like a really good one, which I've seen maybe like 3 or 4 total that have really scared me more than just like, yeah, he's going to be behind the thing. Like, I get it, whatever. I think it's like the fear of unknown kind of thing of like, I hear a weird noise and it's dark in the room and like, oh, it must be a demon. Like, there's no other explanation.
That sort of thing doesn't scare me so much anymore. My imagination and my dreams are very strong when they want to be. And so that's why I tend not to watch horror. Like one of my favorite podcasts is a horror movie podcast. So like I love a lot of the lore and story and creativity behind horror movies, but I don't tend to watch a lot of them because the movie doesn't scare me. My brain after the fact scares me. The one thing that I have a very hard time with is
the color green.
The color green. Dark water. And like growing up in a place with a lot of like, kind of like, I guess murkier lakes and rivers and things, like get out and be like in the water and tra-la-la, this is so great. And then I was like, there is a shark about to eat me. And I'd get this
you don't know what's
terror.
in there.
Yeah. So probably dark water. Yeah.
I just watched, the movie is called Spiral, but it's in the Saw universe. And it's technically the 9th Saw movie.
Oh my God.
I hadn't seen it. It came out a couple years ago. It stars Chris Rock, Samuel L. Jackson, and Guy from Handmaid's Tale, that I don't know his name. And a very strange cast, and they're cast really strangely in the movie because they're all like police officers and stuff, and they don't really fit their characters. But several times in that movie where I was just like, the jump scare is going to happen now. The camera angle is telling me that a scary thing is about to happen.
Yeah.
And I was just like, have we completely dried the well on on that kind of thing? Like that type of movie is just... There's no way to make another good one of it.
No. Well, that's why I think Midsummer fucked me up so much.
Right. I still haven't seen it.
Oh my God. It's
on my list.
It's not the scariest movie, but you're going to be thinking about it for a couple of years.
Yeah. The psychological terror is what gets you.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from Brian Carter, who spells his name with a Y.
Oh.
Yeah, that's bad. It says, Mr. Fleshy McGreen. Hello, Brian. Inferior way to spell such a great name. And
you
James.
can just stop. You can just stop.
Do I not read the rest?
No.
Well, let's pretend I didn't.
Okay.
The Way of All Flesh is an okay episode. The investigating from Lois and Clark is fun. Metallo is another good Superman villain, and I like how Superman doesn't just outright beat Metallo. No Jimmy in this episode is who cares, he doesn't do much. Side note, that virus seemed like it was never going to empty. Can't wait for the next episode. Hope you both have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, he was pouring a lot of that, and none of it was getting in Lex's mouth somehow.
Yeah, did it
no,
need to, though?
I'm going to open my mouth and tell you stop, and it wasn't going in there.
Maybe it just needed to get on his skin or something, or is it specifically like an ingested virus?
I don't know. Ryan Hipp, Flesh Prince of Bell Lex has no hair.
Nice.
Gonna workshop that one.
Welcome back to Nick on the Freno Wagon, Argentina's #1 Nick Freno licensed teacher rewatch butt, which is a real shame since I've never watched it before, and it's not available to watch anywhere. So I'm going to get in on Dylan Pollock's business and do my own question of the week.
Oh, man.
Call me Dylan Bollocks. Ha ha ha, where do I come up with it? So is the implication with Lex's total apathy toward Metallo's lack of taste, smell, and touch that Lex Luthor has some kind of reverse Helen Keller condition where he's able to see and hear, but he lacks all other senses? I'm going to go back in time and drop that theory on Tumblr and then come back to now and just watch how the Superman discourse has just become a total shit show. Okay, bye.
More than it already has. Yeah, Lex can see and feel everything, so he's just like, what's your problem? It doesn't matter.
I don't know how to answer that question.
We can also pretend that we answered it well.
Oh, hell yeah.
Lanola Cola. Tug on the super cape. Wait, I actually saw this episode. Good days / afternoons / evenings. Brian James as Rudy Jones / Parasite.
Good evening.
The Way of All Flesh, a.k.a. the telltale kryptonite chunk powering John Corbin's endoskeleton. This episode jogged my memory that I actually caught some S-Test episodes on a channel called The Hub, now known as Discovery Family. The Way of All Flesh was one of them, and I didn't know that John Corbin appeared prior to this episode back then. Yeah, he has kind of a weird, like, Harvey Dent thing where, like, I know he's going to be the guy, but we got to show him for it. But you didn't know he was going to be the guy. So
I didn't.
I kind of consider Metallo to be S-Tass's parallel to Mr. Freeze, a man deprived of his senses due to an evil businessman's meddlings. Freeze and Metallo are also kept alive by the very technology that irrevocably changed their lives, and this episode marks the second time a villain calls himself the new Superman on the block, and right after Parasite, too. And the third time that the DCAU makes a Terminator reference, not to mention that this is the exact situation that Duplicant Batman thought happened to him.
There it is.
Yeah. There are a few things regarding Metallo that I didn't think about before rewatching the episode. Firstly, the fact that the little cover to bring out the kryptonite didn't appear initially after Corbin's surgery. Oh, yeah, when he's, like, flexing in the mirror and stuff, there's not, like, a rectangle on his chest.
Oh, my God, you're right.
Yeah. And the cover switches between an obvious quadrangle in the middle of the chest and a line delineating musculature in the Timverse style. Secondly, since metallo is used in both the endoskeleton and the skin covering on top of it, why was Corbin able to tear it off so easily when an artillery shot, train and car collision and a fight with Superman didn't cut up the skin? I don't know. Maybe that its only weakness is itself. I don't know. And that is all for this tug on the Super Cape. I'll be sure to reach you like the fire trail that blew up Luthor's yacht in the next episode. P.S. If there's any consolation, I did manage to narrow down where Big Bus, Oregon actually is thanks to those football scores.
Oh, what?
I'll say this. Your home team isn't the worst name for a football team, as in the old name for the Washington Commanders. PSS, to answer about appearances of ejected shell casings in the DCAU. To name a few examples, the Tommy gun in I Am the Night showed ejected casings during the police raid on Jazzman. The Tribs for Make 'em Laugh noted that Pack Rat's submachine gun ejected shotgun casings. I do remember that. Mm-hmm. And Last Son of Krypton showed ejected casings for both Corbin's men and Alexosuit in the final battle. Where would we be without you, Linoleco? The shell casing counter.
Everyone's got their specialty.
This is from Chanda Hulk. Sup, James and Brian. This has been a great way to watch through the DCAU somewhat blind. I've only seen Justice League. I will now try and make you feel the passage of time. I was 3 months old when the first episode of Justice League came out. Also, I may switch to audio. Don't know when. I was 10 when Justice League came out, and Brian was 17. You were 3 months. Farewell. P.S. I fucked up. His name's John Corbin, not James Corden. I'm keeping the mistake. Oh, it did. Yeah, it said that I missed the subject title. The Way of All Flesh or James Corden's No Good, Very Bad Day.
It was really nice to see you, considering I have no connection to Justice League other than you just saying how old I was. It was nice to see you kind of like struggling with that. And
have an old man moment.
Yeah, I didn't feel like the old one for a moment.
Kale had another Kryptonite Society for this episode. I'll thank you again, Brian Krantz and James Stern, however. With your viewers' attention on this endeavor, I can only hope word of it will spread. Size, a baseball, a heart. It seemed to be growing throughout the episode, though I can't tell you if that's normal or not for Kryptonite. Color, green. Current location in the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. Previously from a city on Krypton. I noted in my last email a different location, but unless this was from Dr. Popov's excavation, they are all from that same original source as seen in A Little Piece of Home. Vibe, Macarena, Bayside Boys Mix, Los Del Rio. Why is it always that?
I'm liking this.
Yeah. Until next time, Kale, founder, curator, and director of operations at Kryptonite Preservation Society. Scarloey won The Way of All Yop. Hello, Scarloey.
Hello.
Funny thing happened to me the other day. I was walking down the street when suddenly a parrot landed on my shoulder, dropped a cassette tape with note attached to from its beak, and flew away. I have no idea how the parrot found me, and I'm terrified that it will return. Anyway, the note said to convert the cassette to MP3, send it to the podcast. So here it is.
Ahoy, land yoppers! I'm Captain Yopbeard, yappiest dude on the 7 seas. As a pirate, I find this episode very hard to watch. Superman blows up a boat and he doesn't even take all the booty first. Honestly, Superman, you disgust me. But your trunks are cool. Anyway, so long. See you next tide. Bye-bye.
Oh, boy. Good.
I wish I had the gall to just do something like that.
It's the pirate, Brian. Yeah. Well, we didn't talk about Metallica throwing a boat through the boat, but
we did not. But now we have.
This is Jordan Newman, GCN Musical Minute for The Way of All Flesh. Here we go.
You're listening to the Gotham Insider, bringing you hard-hitting investigations from right out in the field. I'm Jack Ryder, reporting from Metropolis, where Superman, as we're calling him, fought some other alien, I guess, on the streets of Metropolis. I don't know what he was. He was super strong and bulletproof. That's gotta be an alien, right? I don't know what's real anymore, and I hate this city. In Gotham, lots of weird stuff happened, usually around Batman, but it was kind of normal weird, you know? It was crazy people doing crazy things, and here we've got aliens throwing buses at each other for fun. And one of them, and I cannot stress this enough, keeps flying around. Sorry, folks, I'm gonna check myself into some therapy and see if I can cope with some of this stuff. Now over to the music. I liked the John Corbin theme. I think there was one. It was a cool music texture that I liked. Never apologize for loving, famous, try to stay optimistic.
It was just kind of like a string flute thing going like brah, 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 like the whole time, which was giving me sort of like Psycho type feeling, which was cool. Yeah, I like fit that in the last 6 seconds.
I'm amazed.
Dinoface Individual Hench Reviews. Comment submitted by a lady. Hey, I'm kind of stuck in the middle of the ocean right now. Yep, just floating here after I got tossed by a cyborg, some guy with melty skin and metal bones. I still haven't been rescued, and that Bond villain-looking jackass Luthor just completely drove off in his yacht. Can anyone who read this help me? I'll rate Metallo a 1 out of 5. Seriously, I figured I was just a side chick for Luthor, but I didn't think what I'm assuming is his main squeeze would be able to just throw me like that. I guess Lex has a type. The Superman thing, yeah. From Michael Kelly. Hey, Jambi and Bray, longtime listener and Yoppie dude. Really happy that you're enjoying Superman. Wanted to write in because the new episode is coming out Friday on my birthday. Oh, boy, I'm so sorry about that. Happy late birthday. It'll be fun to hear this on the pod. The first episode of Superman premiered a week before I was born. Ain't that wild?
Jamie?
Brian was 20. I love how he got older. Benjamin Button. I love how Superman establishes its villains, whereas in Batman, some of the main rogues were already there. It's great to see Corbin return from the other episode. He gives me Terminator RoboCop vibes with the mirror skin peeling and the whole body transformation. Thanks for reading, and don't stop the yop. Happy birthday, future Mike. Well, from Mike. It's past Mike. You get the idea. Yeah, that is cool to see them all kind of getting, or every episode is called so-and-so's origin story every time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carly Barrett, citing my sources. It's, yes, it's real. Here's Superman's pretzel pocket in his cape. And it is his comic panel of Superman eating a pretzel that he's taken out of his cape.
What is that from? Is that?
I don't know.
That's like an original creation, I'm guessing?
No, it's in a normal real comic. I don't know.
That's legitimately just in a comic?
Yeah, I guess so.
What the fuck?
Also, I'm an ardent defender of his costume, but even I can't abide by this time they fucking drew him tucking his cape into his pants. Like, theoretically, I know he does that, but don't make me look at it. It's another panel of putting the cape back in there and the trouser cape. Also, he's so fast he shouldn't even need to wear his costume under his clothes. The time it would take to change is like a millisecond. Batman's a normal dude and should always wear his costume under his clothes, but as we all know, he keeps it in his suitcase for some reason. This has been your weekly Superman's costume discourse. Also, the pretzel thing is from the Up, Up, and Away storyline from Infinite Crisis. In case any of the 6 people who know what that means would like to read it. Keen Machine.
Hey!
Rock Heart. Greetings, James and Brian. I think there's a lot of puns that could be made about having kryptonite for a heart. The best one I could come up with is a jaded heart, because jade is green, get it? Lots of weird innuendos in this one, too. I can't smell, I can't taste, I can't... Stares at Lex's date a little too long. You said that, too. Anyway, this episode does a great job of proving how diabolical Luthor is. Always 2 steps ahead of everyone, which is why he's such a great villain. One of my favorites in all the DCAU. Until next week, keep it keen. Keen Machine. Thank you very much.
Okay.
James Alvarez, The Way of All Flesh. Hey, James and Brian. Hope Brian is feeling better after a battle with the vid.
Yes.
For 2 whole weeks. Just wanted to write in about this episode to geek out about the art and animation. I know it's well established DCAU's use of Japanese studios, but some of these earlier STAS episodes really look like some lower budget Ghibli fare, and that's a plus in my book. Yeah. It looked good. This episode also really hammers home the ocean liner deco look that producers were going for, spending so much time on water and in sunny, scenic surroundings. I think between STAS Metropolis clearly being a coastal California-style city and Dragon Ball Z primarily taking place in the tropics. I'm discovering why I have such a heavy association between big bombastic superhero fights and ocean line scenery. I really can't get enough of Estas's art. It's probably just nostalgia, but this whole series just feels like peak Bruce Timm in terms of the designs and color palette. Also, I sent the isolated clip of Metallo saying, "You didn't know I could focus it like that, did you?" to my partner, and she laughed for about 10 minutes straight. Anyways, thanks for reading. Happy trails, James Alfred. He's so big, Mr. Luthor.
So, real question. Is Metropolis in America?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe they talked about that in the first episode. Or second.
I don't know.
First episode, part 2.
He goes there from Kansas. I don't know.
I kind of made an assumption that it was New York-ish, but maybe it isn't.
Yeah.
It is?
I mean, it is, but I think it's probably they're just talking about what it looks like or something. I don't know.
But so there's like Gotham.
Yeah.
And that's like basically New York.
So we'll see eventually that it takes a plane flight to get between the two cities. But then when you look at them on a map, they're within like 100, 200 miles, something like that.
Okay.
So, I don't know. You don't need a plane. You shouldn't need a plane.
Yeah.
But they do it anyway. I don't know.
Okay. Fair deal.
It's from Kyle, not Kale.
Kyle.
Okay.
Hi,
hello,
Kyle.
James and Brian.
Hello.
Firstly, I hope that Brian is on the mend after being exposed to COVID night. Secondly, I wanted to say thanks for playing my children's version of Get Up on the Hydra's Back. I showed them that it made it on the podcast and they lost their minds. Safe to say that the fame may have gone to their heads. See audio file. Oh boy.
Get up on the hydra's back. Get up on the hydra's back.
Cut. That's not gonna work. You're supposed to be yelling. You're supposed to be screaming. You need Hercules to get up on that Hydra's back. That simply won't do. Let's try this again. All right, places, set. Ready, set, action.
I can't work like this.
My apologies. I'm sorry. I was just trying to get you ready for this big moment. All right, let's try it again. 3, 2, 1, action.
Get up on the Hydra's back. Get up on the Hydra's back.
Thank you. I'm so glad you did a redo. It was so bad the first time. That's sarcasm, kids. It's sarcasm. I'm not serious.
I was amazed. At the start of that, I'm like, that sounds kind of, this isn't like the one from last time. And then the whole record's oh my God, it's a whole bit.
The whole thing
love it.
Just keeps going.
I love it when listeners send in bits. That's great. Thank you.
The new listeners, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
He says, anyway, I was curious what Brian thinks of an actual continuity being maintained so far in STAS. Brian, did you remember who John Corbin was after only appearing in one episode? I didn't give you the chance. I just told you. I really enjoyed the body horror elements of this episode. Body hoarder. He took all the bodies and keeping them forever. Malcolm McDowell is a great Metallo. I hope we get to see him again. Stay Yoppie. What is your answer to that? The continuity stuff.
Hasn't felt too heavy on the continuity in the way that even like Avatar or whatever is the first thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah, I mean, there's little connections like the Kryptonite or John Corbin or whatever, but it's not like, and here's the very next thing that happens or
Yeah, this isn't Full Metal Alchemist. Like we're not being left on like a crazy cliffhanger
every
and
episode.
And it's gonna like the whole thing is one story arc. Like it doesn't quite feel that way. But I like it. I like it. You know, it's cool to have it not be quite so disconnected, I suppose.
Yeah, I was thinking about how with Batman, the stories don't require you as much to remember the exact things that happened in the last Joker episode, the last Penguin episode, or you just kind of like, did you get the gist of what the Joker did and what he's about and stuff like that? And so it will be interesting for me to see like how much you remember of like, say we have a character show back up in like 40 episodes, if you'll actually be like, oh, it was the guy, or if the show does enough of a job to remind you of what's going on or whatever.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
We will see. Meatballs McGee This is Robert Sterling. Good now, Jimmy and the Brain.
Hello.
Whilst I recover from my PTSD, post-travel sleep disorder, I wanted to share a few observations and trivs of my own, starting with fun and games. While not actually Toyman, his son, I don't know how canonical that is because comics and movies, Anton Schott appeared in the 2015 animated movie Batman vs. Robin as Dollmaker, voiced by Weird Al Yankovic.
What?
Okay. I don't think I knew that was the voice. For any musical and theater people in the Yoppie realm, John Rubstein of A Little Piece of Home played the titular character in the original Broadway production of Pippin and later went to direct The Rover starring Christopher Reeve in 1987. Interesting.
Sweet.
Weird connections there. 2020 movie Superman Man of Tomorrow. Parasite's powers turn him into a whole-ass kaiju. That's true. He turns like a big Godzilla because he absorbs like a power plant or something. And to my recollection, this is the only instance in which John Corbin is presented to be an English mercenary instead of an American conman murderer / journalist. That's all I got for now. Until next time, so long from Big Bus. Thank you.
That's right. Rob is also part of Big. I like that we've got a small, we got a handful of Big Bussers.
You got the Big Bussers.
Are there any
we
I
should
don't
do a
know?
Big Bus Yoppie meetup or something.
I would legitimately love that. Do we?
Hopefully, probably with masks. But yeah.
Yeah, maybe in like the summertime, and we can do it outside or whatever. And we should do that. We should just be like, hey, we're gonna do a thing in Big Bus. And you gotta scavenger hunt, find Big Bus, and be here on a certain day.
Can you find a Big Bus based on all of the 50 clues that are really obvious that we've given you what Big Bus is? And or any of our social media profiles? Stay tuned. All right, this last email is from Levi Church, and I've been looking forward to showing you this.
Okay.
So recently, I'll give a little introduction because he gave me one before I watched this. It's a YouTube link. Recently, Robert Costanzo was at a Comic-Con, and Levi went and got a video op with him for us.
No.
I will show it to you now.
No.
How you doing there? I'm Bobby Costanzo, a.k.a. Harvey Bullock. Get on the Bat-Wagon, and I'm telling you, jump on the Hydra's back. Read my lips. Do I speak English? Get it. Do it now.
His little smile at the end, too. That you can find that on Levi Church's YouTube channel if you're listening to this. I was so overly happy with that. And I also love the way that clearly he accidentally butchers jump get, flips him, but it's so in character to do that. I don't give a shit about whatever your stupid little phrase is. So it's so good. I'm making that part of the podcast introduction now, by the way.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
How you doing? It's Harvey Bullock. Yeah.
I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch that several hundred times.
Yep. I'm just going to speed through a couple comments here because we have a hell of the mail section right now happening. But Zane Beatty says, I was in Big Bus for that game. A lot of push-ups. The one that just, it's like 2 or 3 games ago now. But
okay, is that somebody that you know in the real world?
I don't. But maybe they were on the other teams or they just came for the game. I don't know.
Okay, so we're going to have Tip Tap Ricot. We're going to have Robert Sterling. We're going to have Zane Beatty at least. Kimmy, we'll have Kimmy come out for a whole okay, you've heard this person a million times, but you
where
don't
does
know
Vitz
her at all.
live?
Vitz is in Seattle. But I bet we could fly Vitz down.
Yeah. We'll pay for Vitz's big bus to come get him. When Rudy realized Jimmy was hiding in the cellar, I quickly began explaining to my wife he grabbed Superman, got some juice, and could hear his heartbeat. She quickly said, or he gets his thoughts and he knows he's there. She's absolutely right. All these years, my nerd self was overthinking it. All right, I guess so. Ashley Tetchin, I love Parasite even though he sucks. See what I did there? That's one of the things I love about STAS. I think they were one of the first Superman adaptations to really utilize his rogues gallery. Supes has some cool villains who don't get the recognition they deserve. And come on, guys, of course he had to grow a mankini. Superman established that's the Parasite. Superman established having powers means you have to wear your underwear on the outside. Rudy just took it a step further. Tip Tapricot. The Way of All Flesh is a banger title, and I think the focus it brings to the themes it explores is really cool. Metallo being driven to his breaking point, not by the usual villainous wants for power and greed, but for the love of the human pleasures he's now been barred from. It makes him empathetic, even if the pleasures he engaged in were usually perverse or greedy. We all, generally in our own ways, know that it's what it's like to have a good bite of food or a smell that hits home or to enjoy hugging someone you love. To be suddenly put in an inhuman metal body would be disconcerting.
Oh, yeah.
That said, while I love Metallo's character in this episode, his voice acting and design, I do think the episode loses a bit of steam with how floaty some falling bits are, and with the lack of runtime it has to expand a bit on certain interactions or motivations. It fluctuates between shallow and deep for me. We didn't talk about Metallo throwing that guy into a couch. You're like, lucky that couch was there. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Also in that same scene where you're like, I need help me, and he throws his desk out of the way. And he's like, you were like, my research was in that desk. Like, you destroyed it. Anyway, we'll be back next week in the proverbial audio flesh, as is the way of it all, and wanted to send this tip clip by sending a warm appreciation out to anyone who comments in this community. I always forget to respond to the cool/funny stuff everyone says, but you're all very cool and very funny. That's true. Aww. They're right. Super Luigi 64, The Way of All Flesh, or Come With Me If You Want to Not Live, or We're Gonna Need a Bigger Mesoamerican Lead Cup. Also, I currently only have the S-Test DVD set and had to switch discs for this episode. Who the hell thought a double-sided disc was a good idea for it? Oh my God, I cannot agree more. I don't know if the Blu-rays are like that. Are they double-sided? Okay.
No.
But the DVDs, the Batman DVDs are all laid out in such a beautiful little like patterned fold out thing, and the Superman ones are like, it's 2 discs, they're both double-sided, fuck you. And I was like, okay, and you can't touch anywhere on them. It sucks ass. I hate it.
I mean, you brought them over before we realized we were going to be watching this in a different fashion than before.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you don't have my Blu-rays. You're also watching on Max
on my dog.
Your dog. Pull the hair back there, Superman.
He's sleeping at my feet.
Oh my goodness. Evil Banana Man, not okay.
Oh,
man. Matthew Blaine as a janitor, I see him as a hero and a cautionary tale. Charles Motosierra, regarding Way of Meat, or damn, does he look weird without his lips? Seriously, Superman, are you sure this is Corbin? It looks like young Donald Trump. They did tell me the cameras can do weird things to you. Yes, that whole thing was my subtitle. Couldn't Luthor make somebody that was actually already dying into Metallo? I mean, Johnny isn't exactly the most loyal hench ever anyway. Do you, Brian Smooth Manili, and James Watchtower Database Strecker think Superman just went around the city looking for Luthor before finding his yacht? Yeah, I guess he just knew where to go.
I mean, he's got his selective dog hearing.
He does, yeah.
So
he's got his Superman's bifocal spectacular. He could just look over there. Side note, Terminator counts as a bald villain, right? He's wearing a wig technically, yeah. Yeah, he won the thing. Finally, I would like to compile all the recorded easy ways to beat Superman's villains, so when they inevitably return, we can all laugh at how stupid Clark is. Right now, you have Toy Dude, break his stuff. Little piece of shit / home, lead. Purple Jesus, make him absorb a rock. Robot, throw him in the fucking Mariana Trench. Also, remember to stretch before and after doing your push-ups. Not that I'll make you do push-ups. I can't ever buy myself a drink. Well, that was a huge S comment. Wednesday edit. Get well soon, Brian. We all love you.
Thank you. But hey, you can do push-ups with us. Just saying.
Yeah, that'll work.
You don't have to buy us anything. You can just
send us push-ups. Yeah. LexCorp cares. Thoughts and prayers over here at LexCorp for Rudy Jones. Sad to see Star Labs do so little to care for their employees. At LexCorp, we provide top-tier medical care for our employees. In fact, Mr. Luthor himself is personally overseeing the care of our beloved John Corbin. We're all rooting for you, John. The Banana Baby says, goo goo gaga. Translation, okay.
What is going on?
My mind.
God. Okay.
Oh boy. Juan Pedro, I'm having a blast rewatching STAS, so naturally I'll make a comment all about BTAS. Very happy the show is going to be on Netflix internationally, especially for my Spanish friends, because they do not have the DCAU on HBO Max. It's still called HBO Max. It's outside of the U.S. Well, that sucks.
Oh,
that it's called HBO.
Guess you got to call it Max/HBO Max now.
I guess so. Yeah, wherever you happen to be. But maybe you can't watch it on there, though, so I can't say that.
Yeah, I mean, you just, oh my God.
Kate Tastic says, Mr. Spicy Man.
Nice.
Okay. And Mark Aquino, The Way of All Flesh or the $6 Million Droog. Narrator, John Corbin, felon, a man with little time left. Lex Luthor, gentlemen, we can improve him. We have the technology. We have the capability to make the world's first bionic man. John Corbin will be that man, better than he was before. Better, stronger, faster. More of a creepy dirtbag than ever before. Empowered by my favorite source of energy, green rock candy. Good old Malcolm McDowell returns in this one. A very solid origin episode for the villainous Metallo. Great action, great voice performances. The way the reveal builds on how devious and methodical Lex Luthor is, I could go on. I liked the way the episode ended with Metallo slowly walking at the bottom of the ocean. Reminded me of the famous moment in the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie when the cursed pirates are all walking underwater. Heck, this predated that movie, so maybe this is just another Kimba the White Lion / Lion King situation. Who knows? Boss Biggest Bear Hugs is the #1 podcast host in this year multiverse of ours, Jungle Jim and Baloney Bazooka.
What?
Praise to our Lord and Savior Dylan Pollock, likewise his loyal disciples, all the names. You're all absolute best. Don't ever forget that. First there was Banana Man, then we get Banana Boy, then there was Evil Banana Man. Last episode we were introduced to just OK Says, and now there's Banana Baby. The Banana Commenter Universe, BCU, is getting so layered and detailed now it may as well get its own podcast. It could be just 2 hours of folks claiming to be literal bananas and making stuff up on the spot. But let's face it, that's what this medium is built for. I mean, that's basically this podcast in a nutshell, so it's not that far-fetched, and we'd all listen to it religiously. Yeah. Anywho, until next week, big ol' whoosh! I just flew away. Dear God, we're done. We can go home now. We're already home.
We're home.
You can go home if you're not home and you're listening to this.
We can, if you're at work, we give you permission to just go home.
Just leave.
Jamie,
say Jungle Jim and whatever, and Baloney Bazooka said I could go home.
I got barking dogs.
You sure do.
You know,
they say shut up. They say leave the podcast. They say go away.
We don't have to go home. We have to go put our trash out.
Closing time. You don't have to go home, but you have to take your trash out. The last thing I do though is I tell you the name of the next episode, and it's called Stolen Memories.
Stolen Memories?
Yeah. Max has an idea.
Do you remember the thing from
What is it, boy?
Harry Potter?
Which thing? There's lots of things.
It's the thing from Harry Potter where they do the wand up to your temple and then you
the pin sieve.
Yeah, that's the one. It's that, so it's going to be Superman versus Harry Potter.
Who do you think will win?
Batman.
Sounds good. We'll see you next time for Superman versus Harry Potter, Batman champion. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Wait, let's listen to this one more time.
He's bald, I'm bald, we're all bald. But who's the baddest bald of all? It's James and Brian's final call. The Balderarchy.
Oh God! I know. Is that just a fart? I mean, I love it.
So I asked Jordan to send me chromatic scales of him doing the trumpet noises. So it's every single note he could possibly hit with the trumpet noise. I'm pretty sure my mom just took the best one trumpet noise and sampled it to the keyboard and then played the thing. So thanks, Jordan, for doing that anyway. But it worked.
It's amazing.
You gave us like 24 different possible trumpet noises to go for, so it worked.
There you go. See? Classic.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Forever.
What?
You'll excuse me if I don't see you home.
You'll never pin this on me. The virus is destroyed and Corbin's lost at sea. And even if you found him, there'd still be that kryptonite to worry about.
I don't think I'm the one who should be worrying.
Jump on the Bat-Wagon is hosted by the Watchtower database. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for DC Animated Universe videos on a regular basis. This podcast is edited and produced by yours truly, James Strecker. Musical themes by Kimmy, Cooney Phoenix, Viltsu, and of course, my smooth co-host, Brian Brother Broderick Manili. To buy us a Yoppie beverage and hear your name read in a future episode, or to nab yourself a Yoppie Dude t-shirt, please visit the links in today's show notes. And thank you for supporting the show. You can hear more on today's DCAU episode by checking out our friends over on the DCAU Review and Timm Talk podcasts. Please leave us a 5-star review on your app of choice. You'll damn well hear it read on the show. And remember, if you'd like to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of The Cat and the Claw Part 2, you can email batwagonpod@gmail.com or leave a comment on the Podtower. New episodes of Jump on the Bat-Wagon are released Fridays on all your favorite podcast feeds and watchtowerdatabase.com. And we'll see you next episode, same PP time, same poo-poo channel.